What's good enough at YouTube? This is Crazy Samurai 71 here bringing us another video. Today I'm bringing us a video on Lupinranger versus Patoranger episodes 39 and 40 because I wasn't able to do episodes in 39 and 40 these past 2 weeks. I'm doing them now. So episode 39 is called Bet on This and episode 40 is called I Can't Stop Worrying. So basically I'm going to try to cover both of these episodes, do it shorthand just because I kind of want to just get caught up. And then this weekend, episode 41 will be releasing. So, anyway, let's get started. I just want to say this is well, episode 39 probably had a better episode. Episode 40 had some really cool things in it as well. So, episode 39 was interesting because it had Noelle finally learning about who Zamigo is. We also ended up learning some very important details about Zamigo's ice gun, because for the longest time we've been thinking that the ice gun is something that destroys people and kills them right away when they get blasted by the ice gun. That is not the case. Actually, it transports people because we ended up seeing the Ice Lobo, who was the monster that was destroyed in episode, I believe it was 38, wasn't actually destroyed. He actually was teleported to another location, implying that he wasn't destroyed, and that likely the ones that Kairi, Umika, and Toma care about are likely alive still. They're not dead, they're just frozen in another location. So that's nice to know. And what happens is that the Power Rangers are actually the ones that end up fighting them the first time, this time around, this monster. But then eventually they're trying to figure out more information. Zamigo is brought to Umika and Toma's attention. Toma doesn't want to talk about Zamigo, and then what happens is that there's this constant battling between whether or not to mention it or not, but eventually what does end up happening is that Umika talks to Sequoia and just convinces her that she should speak to him. They end up learning more information, and then Kairi goes after Zamigo as well. But he initially goes after the Gangler because he actually spies on, on Kichiro when he's fighting the Gangler. And what happens is that he ends up finding the location of the Gangler. Then eventually what does end up happening is that we end up seeing that Kairi gets to use the Victory Striker to take the form of Super Lupin Red, which is very cool, so we get to see that form used in battle. We do end up seeing the full powered up form of that, and eventually they do manage to defeat Ice Lobe. We also see that Victory Striker allows it for Kairi to have a foresight, which is kind of interesting because what that basically means that he could see things before they actually happen, which is a really cool ability that actually gives him a huge advantage when he ends up fighting against Zamigo, but he still isn't strong enough to actually finish him off. Eventually what does end up happening is that the Ice Lobe ends up turning big, and what happens is that they end up using the Victory Lupin Kaiser form to fight against Ice Lobe and destroy him, which is very important and interesting to see. So, generally speaking, good episode. Interesting to learn about Zamigo and his weapon now that we understand that there's more to it, and that likely those people that they lost may not have been lost, they may just have been missing. But again, even if they knew that, it wouldn't have made matters any easier if they didn't get the versus changers in the first place. Because you know, you're thinking like, wait, if they're not dead, then is it really meaningful? But it is, because how else would they have gotten what they've gotten at this point? Now, as far as episode 40 goes, episode 40 has a Gangler that's supposed to be this combination of a dugong and a manatee, but they're not really sure, and then later on they find out that it's supposed to be like a dugong, and the thing is that the Gangler is called Dugong Mate, or Manatee, or a Mantai, or something like that, and this Gangler has advanced knowledge of the Lupinrangers and the Power Rangers, so he knows a lot about them. He ends up fighting the Lupinrangers, but the Lupinrangers can't beat him very easily at first, and actually Toma and Umika end up getting affected by his ability, which allows him to make them worry to a severe extent, and it's actually very funny because they end up worrying about Kyrie and where he goes, and they end up thinking like maybe he's off finding a girl that's going to leave him broke and have him suffer on the streets after having children and being married and everything. Well, and that's Umika's impression, and then Tomo's impression is like maybe he's gonna love what he's eating so much that he's gonna order everything on the menu and have like a full stomach, and then a woodpecker's gonna come in and hit his stomach and he's gonna explode. So it's just like, what is this? Toma is insane. But yeah, it was just really funny, and I really did like the humor there, and we got to see that a few times with their worrying and concern and how much they cared about him because of his personality towards Kichiro, especially because of how he's been very, to himself in a lot of cases. But we do end up seeing that really it's just him being himself. He's having a hard time right now, and Noelle really talks to him about how much the two of them really do care for him, which is very important. Later on in the episode, in fact, later on in the episode, we see this continuation of the scene where what happens is that they end up fighting this gangler, and this gangler actually uses he uses his abilities, which is interesting, but then also we end up seeing that Kyrie and Noelle end up using their super forms, so we actually get to see both of their super forms in battle in the same fight, which is very cool, and we get to see them both do a finishing attack which destroys the gangler. And also the Lupin collection items for the episode 39 was an item from 5 Minute, and episode 40 was from Juoger, which is actually pretty interesting because Juoger is the 40th season, and that mecha is from the 40th episode, so that's interesting. I don't know if that was intentional, but that is how it worked, and it was actually one from Dodeka King, or Dodeka Kaio, so that is something to note. And as far as things go overall, the episode was pretty cool. We do end up seeing that eventually Kyrie does show some kind of personality towards Kichiro, and this episode overall was pretty cool. Again, we get to see also Victory Lupin Kaiser and Siren Lupin Kaiser using battle. They actually switch between the two at different points in the episode, and they also use Lupin Magnum, and also they use Ex-Emperor in this episode, so there's a lot of stuff happening, which is really, really cool. They even use Lupin Magic Kaiser, which is another thing that's really great, so they actually use a lot. So that's all really, really cool. I believe that episode 41 may be featuring 5 mechas in it somehow, which is crazy. But it does make some sense because they can do Lupin Magnum, Victory Striker. Maybe they double things because they only have 2 strikers, but good striker is the main piece that determines whether or not they can have more than 3. They can have 3 easily. Having 5 is like, whoa, you have to have multiple good strikers, so you have to be able to copy good striker, which could happen, but I don't know exactly how yet. It could have something to do with the fact that they can do like the tripling effect for the Lupinrangers, and that would allow them to create multiple good strikers, so that would allow them to have the forms of Lupin Kaiser, Pat Kaiser, and also have Lupin Magnum, Ex-Emperor, and maybe one more, I think. It's pretty crazy. We'll have to wait and see. As far as the next episode goes, episode 41 looks to be really, really good. Like, they're going to get into the Gangler world, supposedly, and Destro's going to have a big focus as well as Amigo. So that's going to be really awesome. Also, we've seen in recent images that there's going to be explanation as to who Noelle actually lost, which makes a lot of sense, who it is, and I don't want to spoil it for anyone that doesn't want to, get spoiled. Also, we do see in certain recent images that they're going to be having episodes where Super Lupin Red, Super Lupin X, and Patoranger Ugo, and then the two Lupin Blue and Lupin Yellow will be fighting all together on a team, and eventually, because of the one that Noelle is trying to save, is found out by the rest of them, they actually all eventually end up joining together to fight alongside each other. So that's going to be cool, because that should finally lead to the two teams hopefully uniting. Again, don't hold your breath on that, but I would say that it's a possibility. We have no official confirmation of that. It could just be another one-off, but again, we're really close to the end of the season. I believe it's December 27th is the supposed date that they'll finally have images in a magazine that will reveal the look of the Real Soldier team. There are rumors going around that the Real Soldier team will be made up of the same coloration as the Kuro Oger, which was a red, blue, pink, black, and green team, which would be very interesting to see if that happens, whether or not they'll keep that or it won't be. But that also means that we'll have 2 seasons now that will have no Yellow Ranger, unless they have it as a Special Ranger, which is very unusual and would be very different, just because typically Yellow Rangers are typically on the standard team, not on a special team. Gold or silver or white would be special, or green even would be, though lately it's been red, gold, silver, and white. So we'll see what happens. I'm definitely looking forward to finding out more about this, and leave your comments below, and I'll see you guys in the next video. So, guys, I'm Crazy Sam Wrestling 1, and goodbye, guys.